Okay, so hello, Lauren.
Hi.
Hello. I have met you before, but for the benefit of the audience, which I'm hoping people will watch it, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you became an artist?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm Lauren Terry, and I'm the artist behind the business Lauren's Cows. So basically, it's an art business specialising exclusively in cows. Um, it's been running now for since my first exhibition was back in 2012, and so 8 years now. Wow, that's gone quick. So yeah, so it's developed over the years, and I started just with the paintings and the prints. We slowly have developed into cards, and now we have a range of luxury homeware as well. Um, it all came as a massive surprise how it started. I didn't paint at all. I went to drama school, in fact, in London, and I just picked it up as in my spare time as a bit of a kind of a space filler between auditions, and so happened that I painted a cow. A guy from a gallery really liked it, and he said, well, if you fancy painting 20 cows, I'd love to do an exhibition of your work.
No,
So the
that's
first exhibition was in
outside.
Yorkshire. Yeah, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. And I thought, well, I might as well give this a go. And I just fell in love with it. And I've been painting ever since. And it's been my full-time job for the last 6 years. So yeah.
So,
And how about you? Oh God, you make your lovely jewellery, which I have seen at the Etsy Christmas fairs,
yeah,
which you are
I'm
modelling
wearing.
beautifully.
I wish I'd washed
Tell
my
me
hair.
about yourself and how it began.
So, it feels like many, many moons ago, and it was many, many moons ago. I did textiles at university, and then I did a master's in fashion and textiles, and I actually specialised in embroidery.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so since then I've done um, loads of different things for family and friends, and I like to try my hand at every textile craft that's going on. And um, macrame has been quite a fashion, recently it started to kind of come into the
Right,
fore.
yeah.
So I started having a go at macrame because when I was at uni, that wasn't really a thing, it wasn't a trend. Just making stuff for myself, making stuff for my friends and family. Then I found the rope, the beautiful rope that I use, and fell in love with it. And it all kind of was timed around, it's the classic maternity leave. So I was off,
Ah,
I know. So I was off after having my son. He's now 2. Um, and I thought, why not give it a bit of a go while he's napping? I can be making stuff and see, if I can make something of it. And like I say, now he's 2. I'm still doing it, and I'm expanding my range of stuff. So yeah, I'm really pleased.
oh, that's lovely. That's really nice story.
So when in between auditions in London, you said you just automatically
Yes.
just randomly drew a cow. Why a cow? I love cows, but why?
Well, it just so happened that I had a picture of one basically. My drawing, I would always draw kinds, and then painting, I had painting that I liked. And in the house really, just have on the walls. And I just so happened to have one of a cow, a photograph of a cow. And I thought, well, I'll paint that. And so I did. And it, yeah, and it just, there was just something that kind of, I really took to it, the curiosity of it. And it was just a really engaging picture that made me smile. And yeah, when it's just the more that I've done it, the more I've come to like it. A lot of people, they see my work and they think that I must have this fascination with cows from day one and that I'm obsessed with them. But it's not like that. It's the more that I've done this, the more I've come to appreciate the animal and just the more connection I found with them.
I think that I thought that you were going to say that you brought up on a dairy farm, or that you I
No,
don't know,
my
you.
gran had a sheep farm, so I spent a lot of time with sheep.
Oh
But
no.
I just don't have the same affiliation. They just don't have the same character that a cow has. Yeah, but it's a lot of people automatically think that. But I think, to be honest, quite a lot of it, when you work with cows, you've got the early mornings, you've got the 5 o'clock starts, you're out in the wind and the rain and the snow and every weather under the sun. So I think you kind of can relate them with a bit more a bit more hard work, to be honest. So I think it's the better way to kind of that I've got a nice stand back approach, and then can just go in and do the fun bit. But yeah. So no, and yeah, in the same way, I mean, obviously people look at my things and think that you don't often see just pictures of cows. I mean, rope jewelry is quite a kind of, not a peculiar thing, but you don't often see it in the shops. It wouldn't spring to mind when I first think of jewelry. And so have you ever you've said about macrame and stuff, have you ever thought about playing with something else with your jewelry, or is it die hard rope? Is that your key thing?
Well, no. Basically, it's because it's textile. Jewelry is not. It hasn't always been a jewelry love for me. It's a textiles love for me. So
right.
It was just that I found this material and I was playing with macrame, and so a lot of the necklaces that I use are macrame knots. Although actually this is like knitting, but like on a big chunky scale. And so for me it was more to do with the actual raw material of it. So if I was going to do anything else or add anything to my jewelry, the natural thing for me would be more textiles.
Right.
So that, I started adding the pom-poms, so that's like another fabric element.
Yeah.
Although I'm not going to say I'll never do any other part of jewelry, because obviously it expands and it moves. When I was choosing my name, I wanted it to be something that wouldn't always tie me to doing the same thing. So loops is obviously the looping of the rope, but also I'm Louise, Loops. So that's why it's spelt weird. It's not spelled L-O-O-P.
Lauren's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lou's Loops and Lauren's cows.
I know, yeah. So I wanted to know, on your Instagram, it says that you find cows. Oh, what does it say? I find cows, I paint the cows, then I show them to you. Where do you find your cows?
My cow hunts take me all over. So, I mean, a lot of them are obviously local. Just when I'm because you have a day in the studio. I mean, I paint 10 till 6 every day. I'm on maternity leave at the moment, but that's normally what I do. And sometimes you go into the studio and you just do not feel like painting at all. And if it's not a painting day, it shows in the painting that it's not a painting day. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I kind of jump in the car, take my camera with me, and we just go on a scout, stop, see a field, and then kind of drive around the field for a while and see if I can find the farm that I think probably owes the cows. And then go along and have a chat. Funnily enough, when I first started doing it, I was really nervous to tell people that I painted cows and what they'd think of it. So I'd go along to a farm and say that I was a geography student and I was doing my my dissertation on the changes in dairy farming between now and which is a ridiculous idea, because then the farmer would start asking me questions. Yeah. And I just look like a complete clueless idiot, really. So but the more the kind of business has progressed, the more confidence I've had in it. And it's nice because the farmers really want to show off their favorite cows. They're like, oh yeah, this is so and so, come in here, blah blah blah, you've got to meet this one and stuff. So it's nice sharing that excitement. But I do a lot of the agricultural shows, so the big ones such as the Highland show. I have done the Yorkshire show in the past, but Burley horse trials, and you get a lot of farmers at those things. There's nearly always a cattle show of some description, and I go down the cattle line to take some photos there, but I'll also make connections with farmers, and they'll sometimes lead to commissions. Other times I'm just invited to the farm to take photos. And when I'm asked for a particular breed, social media is like priceless. It's incredible, because I've got like a large following now of farmers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I just say, guys, I need some Texas Longhorns. Who's interested? And I am just bombarded
Really?
with photographs, from people. And it's just, everyone's so excited to see how their cow would be produced. So I like to take my own photographs, because it's that engagement, I think, that really that really is great. But there's certain times, some breeds you just don't really see a lot in England, such as the Texas Longhorn. So in that case, I work with farmers. So I worked with a farmer in Texas on a Texas ranch, and he sent me his photos. But I always make sure to get all the backstory behind them. What are their personalities? Any funny stories? Blah blah blah. So I feel like I know the animal. But I go left, right, and centre, and I think farmers are always quite surprised with just how physical I get with it all. Because I say, can I go over the fence? And I think they think I'll just stand in the corner, but I'm lying on the ground, I'm rolling around in the mud, I've got a very fetching pair of overalls that I do it all in, get nice and dirty, and then take home hundreds of photographs, probably one of which is decent.
So I wanted to know as well, when they say, oh, come into my shed, into my cow shed, and come and meet Daisy. On all your products, you have names of animals. Are they the actual name that the farmer has given the cow, or do you name them based on what you think they should be called?
Actual name. So the farmers will find, have their, a lot of the time they don't name them all, but their favorite they will name. And then other times, if I've just met them in the fields or something like that, I give them their own name, which I think is appropriate. But for the majority, it's their own name. So I did a commission of a pet cow, a Guernsey dairy cow, and she was called Bluebell. And so for part of that, I kind of painted her in a field of bluebells and stuff, and that worked really nicely. But then I had a Jersey calf that I just found in a field, and she had a really lovely love heart marking, and so I called her Juliet, to be kind of the Romeo and Juliet kind of love story. So so in terms of those, it kind of varies, but usually I like it to be their name, and if a farmer hasn't named it, I try and push them to think of a name. But normally it's their own name.
Oh, that's nice.
And so you're very similar to me, as in you like to use a lot of colour.
Yeah.
So, and colourful on the whole. Is that a reflection of your own style? Are you a colourful dresser, would you say?
I mean, today you can't really see, I've got a red skirt on.
There we are.
Green cardigan and a blue necklace. So yeah, I think I just love colour, and I definitely wear more colour than some people. I wouldn't say I'm kind of a head to toe rainbow every day, but what I really like is a colour pop. So I think that's where these come in really handy. So if you are someone who maybe isn't comfortable with wearing colour, you could wear all black. You don't have to have, any colour. You could wear all black, and then you can just add, I've got them all here. You could just add one of these, and then straight away, you've got that little pop of colour. So I do love colour, and I love the way the colours interact. So part of the reason why I started doing the pom-poms is because I really enjoyed, when I was displaying my work, how the colours look together. So I thought, how can I do kind of two colours? So then that's when I started making the pom-poms, so that I could see the relationship between the two.
Yeah.
And have them together. So yeah, I'm just playing all the time, but yes, I really do enjoy colour. You froze.
It makes all the difference.
It does. What was I going to say? Do you have a favourite breed of cow to draw?
This is always, well, other than why do you paint cows, this is the second most popular question, and the answer is no. It changes every day. You know, I'll find, I mean, the Highland cow is kind of the front runner in terms of the public's favourite. The Highland cow is a cert, you know. It's just the shaggy hair and the horns. I think there's something quite, it's almost, they're very majestic. It's almost something mythical about them, you know. They're just this really lovely animal that's kind of so different to anything else that you see. So I think that I love any of them that have got kind of texture to them, in the fur. The British White is one of my favorites, because that's the one that's all white and it's got black ears and a black muzzle, and it is just that the monochrome of it, it's just really stylish and really different, and so I really like that one. Texas Longhorns, actually, I never realized until I worked with them just how different the spectrum is with that breed of cow. And they change as well throughout the year, their coat, as they molt and get their summer coat, their winter coat. I mean, some of them, I mean, a bull that I painted, it was like an oil slick. It was incredible, and you can really get lots of great colours in there. And there's certain animals, certain breeds of cow that I really like in the flesh, and as an animal I really like, but they're an absolute nightmare to paint. I mean, the Jersey cow is the most beautiful cow. I mean, got lovely big eyes and big eyelashes, and they are just a nightmare because it's such a sleek golden coat, one colour, and I paint in acrylic, so it's not like oils where you can kind of have a really long drying time and blend. They dry really quickly, and so getting that smooth coat, it just takes so much time, and it's such a stressful job. And their proportions are really peculiar, so until the actual animal is finished, the finished portrait is done, it just seems like it's wrong. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, in terms of actual breed of cow, I don't have a number one. It changes from animal to animal, but yeah, I'd say with like the majority of people, the Highland cow is the front runner. So yeah, but so yeah, and I've noticed, so with your collection, obviously I've seen them at shows. I've seen you've also got the clay beads. I don't know if you had those at the show when I saw you before. Are they something that you're making now, or are you collaborating with another artist?
Yeah, no, those are new. So again, you know, we were talking about colour and playing with colour, and for ages I've been looking to buy some beads that would go, because the rope that I use is really thick. It's like 9 millimeters. So it's really hard to find a bead that would go over it, because I just wanted to add another element to it, because I'm just playing with it all the time, and couldn't find one. And then I'm really good friends with Northern Accents, Jenny from Northern Accents, with the polymer clay earrings, and so she was like, well, why don't you see if you can make some out of polymer clay? So she just said that, gave me a couple of tips about where I could get it from and that sort of thing. And I made my first few beads, and I used a pen lid to cut the shape out, because I thought, oh, that's going to be about right. And I just roll them in my hands, and then squash them and use a pen lid to cut the shape. And I was aware of polymer clay because we used to use it when I was a child. I remember playing with it when I was little, and we used to make like little animals and stuff, and you know, because you fire them in the oven, so you don't need a kiln. So yeah, started making those, and they've been really, really popular. And so yeah, I make quite a few of those now, but yes, it is me, I do it.
Oh, that's really great. Yeah, well, they're a bit more of although they're still a statement piece, they're a bit more kind of maybe understated, I guess.
Yeah, other than unless they're like bright yellow or
well, yeah.
People are really, really liking the statement ones though, which is really strange. So obviously the rope is plain, and I have started experimenting with using some of my coloured rope. But I do really like using kind of um, the raw rope on it, which is more of a like
Yeah,
traditional rope, whereas the other stuff that I use is like a soft cotton cord. But
right.
my most popular ones, and the ones that sell out straight away, are ones that I make using like a spotty, like
Yeah,
white with black spots. So
I
those
must say,
are,
when looking through your shop, that's my favorite. That's my
yeah,
yeah.
that's the one that it just sells out really fast. So yeah, although they are kind of less of a statement piece, they go in for the ones that are more out there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's more, they're kind of a bit more, because it's got the more colours in it in the same way as your pom-pom ones. It's kind of more adaptable, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
kind of, you've got more spectrum as to what you can put it together with.
So you've got quite an extensive range already on Etsy. I mean, I think if you can put a cow on it, you've put a cow on it. But is there have you got any plans to further expand your range? You know, what's in the future for Lauren's cows?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm very kind of particular about what I put my cows on. So a lot of time people will say to me, "Oh, will you do a cushion, or will you do this, or will you do a phone case and things?" And I'm very, very strict on what I do, because although I could put it on anything, it wouldn't translate. It wouldn't translate as well. So, for example, I've got one of my mugs here. So these are all designed specifically for the item. So I don't want to take one of my best-selling pictures, such as Scarlett, maybe, the Highland cow, and print her straight onto a mug, because the colours won't be the same, the things like that. It's all really important to me that everything, the artwork is the main thing, and if it doesn't match, then there's no point creating it.
Yeah.
So I like to I think the kitchen is one of the perfect places to hang my pictures. So many people buy them for their kitchen, and that's why I like to stick to the kitchenware. So I've got the table mats, the coasters, I've got the tea towels, the bone china range. So that includes the mugs, the jugs. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of those things with me because I've been terribly unorganized. But
You're on
but yeah,
maternity
so
leave. You're allowed. I'm just impressed you're awake. Well done.
I know. Those babies certainly take it out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I plan on designing some new versions of those. So I've recently produced a Highland cow family, which has been in the production for about a year, just because I've kept redesigning, colour matching everything. But I love that. It's got the Highland bull, the Highland cow, and then a slightly smaller mug with a little Highland calf on, which is just adorable. So you get the full family. And recently done the aprons as well. So that was really, they worked really well, which I was pleased with, because there's certain things I want to make, but I just don't know how it will work.
Yeah.
Whether it is possible to do them, and you've got to think about kind of finding the right supplier so the quality is good and things like that. So but we've got a new Christmas tea towel coming out this year, which will be amazing. I'm really excited for. We're toying with the idea of doing a Christmas jug as well, which will be perfect for the Christmas table, for your white sauce and your gravy and things like that. So those are the two things that are in the pipeline. Obviously, it's rather difficult to be making products whilst on maternity leave. So so those are the two that I'm kind of thinking of. I've also recently launched the collector's edition prints. So those are a really exclusive print. So you only get 25. There's only 25 done in the whole run. So once 25 are sold, that is it. So those are really popular, but I'm only releasing 4 designs a year. So as I say, you know, they are kind of a hot item. You've got to be on the mailing list, ready to see what's coming out and when it's coming out, to be able to snap one up and stuff, because I've constantly got a big list of people asking when the next ones are coming out. So yeah, but in terms of products, those are the main ones. As I say, I think it's very easy to kind of overboil the pot, and I think people like finding something really unique and different, and as soon as you slap it on any old thing, it kind of loses that, you know, it loses that that joy. So yeah, those are the ones to begin with, and we'll see where it takes us. But yeah, so I'm just going to consult my notes. So yeah.
I've got another one for you. It's a quick one.
Oh yeah.
Do you often get asked if you're a vegetarian?
I get asked all the time if I'm a vegetarian, if I'm a vegan,
if
I'm a meat eater, and my answer is I love cows, and that's my answer.
Yeah.
Because whatever I say, I'm going to upset someone. If I say that I'm a vegan, I will upset farmers because I'm not supporting the farming industry.
Yeah.
If I say I'm a vegan, I will. If I say I'm a meat eater, the vegans will be upset because I don't love cows, obviously. Mm-hmm. So all I say is that I love cows, and that's where I stand on that. Because
yeah,
exactly, it's not a political thing. It's not anything like that. I just adore cows in any way. And I think you can appreciate an animal, whether you're a farmer, whether you're a meat eater, whether you're a vegan, whether you're not. You can still love and adore an animal.
Of course you can.
So yeah,
I agree.
So that's my answer there. And what is the most difficult item to make?
I'm lucky, really, that other than the polymer clay beads, I can do most of my stuff in front of the telly, which I think is why it's lasted as long as it has. Because when you have a baby, as you know, that when they're really little, they do sleep, and you do have kind of interim times when you can. I mean, you should obviously be cleaning your house and getting up and doing your washing.
Sorry, the sleeping thing. Could you tell that to my baby, because he has been awake all morning.
Well, my baby was good and he slept, but I mean, they get harder work the older they get. I'm sorry to tell you this. I thought, oh gosh, this is the hardest work I've ever had, and it's just no, they're harder the older they get, and you need eyes in the back of your head. So, luckily, what I do, I can do it in kind of snatch. I can pick something up and put it down when I get time to do it, or if he's occupied doing something, then I can do it. And you know, I can do it in front of the telly. It's portable, so if I'm going somewhere, I can grab like a load of rope and take it with me. Other than the polymer clay beads, which is like a little bit messy. So I wouldn't say that any of it is all that difficult to do. Anything's easy when you know how, and I think because I am crafty, it's something that I'm really good at. I pick up kind of creative techniques and things quite quickly, and I find it is relaxing for me rather than being
you can kind of get into a rhythm, and then it's just motor memory, isn't it?
Exactly. I kind of stack it all up, and I do it often in stages. So I'll do all my measuring and cutting, and I'll do all of that, loads and loads and loads of measuring and cutting, and then the next thing I'll do loads of the figure of 8 macrame knot ones, and I'll just do loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of them, and then I'll finish them all off all at once as well. So I think none of it's difficult. It's just I find it, you know, it's relaxing. But I do have a day job as well. So I've got a day job it's an office job. I work for the NFU actually.
I know them well.
And then, which I love, it's a great, they're a great organisation to work for. But then I
For
do
those of
this in
you
my
who
part time.
don't know, the NFU is National Farmers
National Farmers Union, yeah. Yeah.
Union. I
So,
was thinking association. That's not right.
yeah. So, yeah, none of it's difficult.
Your favourite thing to make?
Um, I think it's the pom-poms because they're quite fun. And when I started thinking about, I'd made some curtains for my son's bedroom and I'd put pom-pom trim on them. And or could I put pom-poms in my necklaces? And I thought, am I going mad? Is anyone going to like this but me? Does it look good, or do they look like clowns? Like I wasn't sure. So I think I enjoy that the most, and I'm pleased to say that there are, lots and lots of people really like them, and because I can do them in different colourways, they can appeal to lots of different people as well. So yeah, I think the pom-pom ones are my favourite to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you? Have you got a favourite to make? I suppose that's a bit like the cow.
Yeah, well, it is always exciting when you make a new product because I started just with the paintings and the cards. It is really exciting when you see a mug with your things on, and they're picked up, because the more I've done the business, the more, well, obviously the more you sell, and it's really exciting to go to someone's house and see them make a cup of tea and it's in one of my mugs.
Oh yeah.
So that's really cute, and just people sending me pictures of their tables set with all the placemats and things like that I find really, really exciting, because when I first started this, I would never have expected it to have a homeware range as well. So that's really nice, and we've certainly worked hard. I mean, my mum Jude is my business partner, and she does all the postage and packaging and all of the customer services and stuff. So if you order from Etsy, you'll be speaking and communicating with Jude, and yeah, she's just far more organized than I am and stuff, and it's a lot of painstaking work into finding manufacturers and things, and coming up with new ideas and stuff. So when you get to see them, it kind of really, kind of is really heartwarming. And you, I mean, on your Etsy shop, I've seen that you are just full of five-star reviews and stuff, and people wearing your products and things like that. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I just love it. I love it being tagged in, and it is, I think when you make something, it is really personal to you. I have physically touched and made that thing with my hands. I've spent my time to do it, and I've put my love into it. And so when someone else appreciates it, puts it on and really enjoys it, and says how many compliments they're getting on it, then it does make you feel like, make you have a little glow inside. And I love that. I love that feedback as well, though I will ask, so if someone has said I'd like this colorway or that colorway, I really want people to tell me, I love it, but I'd love it even more if you had this. And if I can, then I'll do that. And quite often some of the best color combinations come from people saying, oh, could you do me this kind of pom-poms, or have you thought about this? So yeah, I do love that customer interaction, which is why I have really missed the markets. Just talking to people and getting them to kind of say what they like, what they don't like, and everyone's always really surprised at how soft and light they are. And the other thing to know about the plain ones, the pom-pom ones, I'm not so confident about, but all the plain ones, they also can go in the washing machine. So if you have a baby,
yes,
they're super snuggly and soft, and like, well, it's not just babies, any child, if they touch it, get anything on it, then you can
Stick on it.
stick on it. I know. Then you can put them in the washing machine, which was a huge thing when I was starting my business, because obviously I had my tiny baby who had reflux. So it was a big thing. So yeah, they can be machine washed up to 40 degrees, which is, another really good thing.
Yeah, well, that's very similar, because I've talked about my tea towels and my aprons and things, and that was really important to us, because we in the past have bought tea towels that we absolutely loved and really bright and colourful. You put them in the wash once and suddenly the colour has just disappeared. And that's why we chose to do a screen printed tea towel, which really kind of, the colour really saturated. You can just feel from when you first hold it that it's gonna last, and you can pop it in the washing machine, and it comes out the same as how it looked to begin with. So,
yeah, which is important.
Very, very much so. Very much so.
So I guess.
And well, I was going to say, with your reviews and things, is there someone in particular out there that you would love to see wearing your products?
Oh.
Who would be the dream model?
I'm not sure. I think I get, this is really stupid, it's really daft, but I would get more out of maybe being in, like, I don't know, our local butchers, or being in one of the shops in town and hearing someone say, oh, wait, oh, I really like your necklace. Oh, thanks, it's a Loupes. I would die. I think I'd get more from that, or like a random person, or coming back to me from a friend, they'd heard something, than it being a famous celebrity wearing it.
But you know who I see then? Prue from.
How do you know? I was going to say Prue.
Great British Bake Off. I would have thought that would be right up her street.
Yeah, Prue, she definitely, I think, would like it. There's quite a few people from the Great British Venue, foodies. They've got good jewellery taste.
Yeah. But that's one person that I could really see collecting. Kirsty as well. I think she's another who would. The pom-pom ones, I'm sure she'd snap up in I would take one of every colour.
I would love that. I do love a bit of Kirsty. Maybe I shouldn't have Kirsty, but let you know. Anyone, just everyone, buy my necklaces.
I'm the same. It's lovely when somebody says, "Oh, I've got one of those," or so and so. And I once had someone come to my stand, and I can't remember where it was actually, and they said, "Oh, when I said I painted cows for a living," and they said, "Oh God, I love cows. I've got this picture by, her name's Lauren Terry. It's and I was like, that's me." She was like, "It's not," and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." "Oh my God, this is amazing! I can't believe I've met you." When I grabbed her husband, "You'll never guess who this is." It was amazing. It was one of the best, and it was just, I can't remember where it was or who it was that I spoke to, but yeah, it was fantastic. And another person who bought one, and she said, "Oh, I must show my sister because she'll absolutely love it." And her sister had already got one, and they picked the exact same one, and it's and it I know what you mean. It's really fun when it's just kind of people, when you're just talking to them or interacting to them, or you just overhear something, and yeah, so I'm with you there.
Good. So I guess to kind of finish it off, because probably been rambling for ages, what because we know how it feels from the other side to kind of buy something, so get someone to buy something off our little indie biz. What has been the favourite thing that you've bought from an indie biz?
Oh,
or one of your favourites, because I've got loads. But
well, I mean, as an artist, I buy a lot of art. There's a lady who also does the York Etsy market. There's two, Caris Rain illustrations, I've got one of her pictures. We've got a picture wall downstairs, and she does amazing gouache watercolors of starry skies. And the one that I've got is a tent in an illuminated tent in a dark sky. And all of them are in circles, and she does really nice stationery things like that. And so I've got some of her things. I did buy some earrings actually from the Yorkshire. I can't remember the full name now. Taste of Yorkshire? No, Yorkshire. The lady who does your polymer, who suggests
Northern accents.
Northern accents. There we are. Baby brain strikes again. Northern accent. I bought some of her earrings at the York Etsy Made Fair. So yeah, I can't. My mind's gone absolutely blank. They're not necessarily all on Etsy, but yeah, when I buy art and things, a lot of them are local. And I've got art by a guy called Sam Potts. I've got a lot of ceramics by a lady called Julia Hume. But yeah, they're my main. It's hard to. I can't really think of any on the spot. They'll all come flooding to me later. There's actually a ring on Etsy, and again, I can't remember the name of the business, but my husband said that he'd buy me something for being so good during birth.
Oh, push present.
So, yeah, well, yeah, I know. I never thought I'd get one of those, but he did say that I did do a very good job. So yeah, so I've got my eye on a ring, which shall be purchased as soon as I found out my ring size, which might take a while in lockdown, but but yeah. And on a similar note, have you got any pieces of artwork that are a firm favourite?
So in terms of artwork, I really love a printer called Merlin. She's a Littlest Falcon. I don't know if you've heard of her. She is also a Team York, but she's not on the Etsy Made Local. She moved away, but I've been at a few fairs with her before, and she I just think she's super clever. I just love everything she does, and she's a really nice person, which helps. I don't know if you're the same, but if I meet someone and I think, oh, their work's nice, but then I meet them and start chatting to them, I then think, I love their work, I need to own it. So that's why I think fairs work so well. Now I've had this chat to you, I'm like, I need a jug with a cow on it. I need it in my life. So that's why I think this kind of thing works really well, doesn't it? Because you get talking about, you think, I love that person and I need to own a bit of something they've created.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's very very true. And I think again with the character of cows, people love to be able to tell the story behind the cow, that I found this one walking in the Peak District, and they can say, come out with the spiel about, oh well, the cow was found, that's actually Adam Henson from Country Farm Life, that's actually his cow because she was on the programme, blah blah blah. And to be able to reel off the story behind it, it just makes it more personal, doesn't it? Makes it more personal to you as well.
Definitely.
To be able to relate it. I bought a piece of artwork by a guy from a gallery in York, and the guy and the owner of the gallery said, oh, there's going to actually be a meet and greet with the artist if you want to come along. And I love this piece of artwork so much, and I said, and I was so tempted, but I thought, I don't want to, because I love the piece of artwork so much. If I meet him and I don't like it, it's a very kind of abstract, dark piece of artwork anyway, and I thought the meaning behind it might be very different for him, what I take from it. So I think I'll leave it and just enjoy it how I enjoy it. Whereas I think the cows, a face value.
To finish it off, because we do need to finish it, but
we've been chatting away.
I know. Would you ever do a pig? Because I love a pig. I'm a fan of a pig.
I can't. If I do a pig, it would look very much like a cow. A lovely pink cow.
Oh, well, thank you very much for chatting to me, and I hope that I hope that we get to see each other again in person
I'm
soon.
sure we will. I'm sure we will when we're back, when we're all back to normal. I'm sure we will. And I hope that the fair is very successful for you, because it's been really lovely chatting to you, and I love your work when I've seen it before and things. So
Thank you. I love your
yeah,
work too, and enjoy your maternity leave, because it's such a special time, and congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, it will be Jude who's doing all the answering of questions and everything, whilst I'm trying to nap and balance and juggle and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it's been lovely. So enjoy. Have a nice rest of day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.